Hey, my name is Ellie, and I'm going to be reviewing Boys Over Flowers episodes 11 and 12. Wow, okay, I feel like episode 11 had so much content to it. We have Chandi going to her modeling agency that she was kind of scouted for. Turns out it's like a bad gig.
저기요.
Oh my gosh, Chandi, I do not think that's a proper modeling agency.
아무도 안 계세요.
So she's saved by this guy who is a model, and he apparently knows her, as if two love interests weren't enough. Turns out that he goes to her school, he runs into Chandi while she's eating his ramen, and they start off a friendship. He gets her a job at this modeling agency, then he asks the people, hey, take a picture of us together, and he tells everyone it's his girlfriend. So I didn't like him from that moment on, but he gets Chandi to do a photo shoot with him, and they're gonna be paying her pretty well, and her family really needs it, so Chandi took the job. The only problem with this is that Chandi lied to Junpyo, and she's kind of been avoiding Junpyo the past couple episodes. She's just really awkward around him, but I don't like that she lied. She could have easily told him that she was doing a part-time job and that she needed to be there. Granted, he might have tried to stop her, but at least she would have been telling him the truth. She does this job, it ends up on the front page of a magazine that everyone in the school is looking at, and of course, Junpyo catches wind of this. There's an altercation between him and Chandi as well as the model guy. Model guy ends up taking Junpyo off, Junpyo beats the crap out of him. But I really do have to take Junpyo's side in that argument. Chandi lied to him, and when someone lies, it's normally because they're trying to hide something. And so his assumption is, oh, you're trying to hide the fact that you're with this guy more than you're trying to hide the fact that you're working this new part-time job. I don't see Junpyo ruining her newspaper business. But when he sees her walking around with this model guy at the school and they seem really close, of course anyone would be upset by that. And Chandi doesn't do him any favors by trying to keep that a secret and by sticking up for the other guy. But something that is weird is that Chandi's acting like this guy has been her confidant for the entire time she's gone to school there. And it was really painful to hear her say that to Junpyo, because she says, well, he gets me and like we're hanging out and stuff. And he's like, what about me? And I'm right there with him. What about him? Yeah, it's just, that was bad. And Chandi clinged to that model guy way too quickly. Just because he may have come from the same economic state as her doesn't mean that he's trustworthy. So then Chandi and this model, they get the F4 cards in their lockers. Additionally, strange things start happening to Chandi. Now, I thought that this guy, the model, could have been implicit in this because he just seemed to know when bad things were going to happen to her and was immediately like, I've got you, I'm going to save you. The moment the gas in the science lab happened, I knew it was him because he was the only one around when it happened. And it just seemed like a total setup. I loved though how Chandi was like, Junpyo wouldn't do this. So she's starting to realize his character more and more as it's being challenged. And she's right, Junpyo wouldn't do that. I don't even know if Junpyo was at the forefront of any of these cruel things in school. I think he kind of just sicked students on whoever his target was, but never actually got his hands dirty in it. So it really didn't seem like it was his doing. And he cares for Chandi, he wouldn't do that. So Chandi ends up getting kidnapped, and Junpyo immediately is like, Chandi, I'm gonna go save her, and he does. And it's just so sweet how he brings himself there, is willing to get beat up right in front of her, and then Chandi, of course, jumps up, gets hit with the chair, helps save Junpyo, and they all live happily ever after. My real question on this is, did the mother actually order the kidnapping, or was that something that the model guy just said? Because he's lied about other things. He lied about Junpyo doing all those weird things to Chandi, and he didn't do it. Anyway, at one point, Chandi's family, they are the recipients of his mother's bribe again, because Chandi's mom was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna lose everything from the loan sharks, we gotta get some money quick. And I loved how Chandi's dad is like, you love Junpyo, we need to give that money back. And they do, and Chandi, I feel like that conversation with Chandi and Junpyo's mother was really powerful because Chandi laid it on the line and said, look, you can't buy me. I have feelings for your son, and this relationship between me and him has nothing to do with you. If anything, if I was Junpyo's mother, I would be so impressed by Chandi and I would want him to be with her. Because imagine how many women would be pining for him simply because he's rich. And that's one of the reasons he likes Chandi, is she's not bought. So then they all go to this ski lounge together. Junpyo gives Chandi this beautiful necklace. Chandi ends up getting it ripped off of her by those girls. And Junpyo immediately jumps to conclusions like, oh, you lost it on purpose. You just got rid of it. And I mean, he is a little bit scarred up from last time. Remember, last time he gave her something, it wound up on Jihoo's arm. So he's a little concerned. Plus, Chandi doesn't really make an effort to be romantic towards Junpyo. Not too often, at least. She did make those Valentine treats, which were really sweet. Most episodes are practically breaking up, so it makes sense why he'd be a little suspicious. Poor Chandi shows her dedication by climbing up this mountain in the middle of a snowstorm. Junpyo goes after her. She almost gets hypothermia. He takes off his clothes, gives them to her. So sweet. That kiss was beautiful! And I love them. And they just need to be together and stop questioning one another. I think that's the biggest issue in their relationship right now, is that they don't trust each other. And we all know that can tank a relationship really quick. And it's nearly tanked theirs several times. So I really hope that they build trust and love for one another. At the end of this episode, she receives a text message as Junpyo is on the flight away to go visit his sick dad. He said he loved her. And Chandi's crying because she's like, I didn't even get to tell him I liked him. But of course, she's crying into Jihoo's arms. I have a feeling that Jihoo still likes Chandi, and he could potentially ruin everything. Chandi and Jihoo, the past few episodes, kind of are magnetized towards each other. I've noticed that they just naturally intersect paths. They're hanging out a lot. He always shows up when she's in trouble. It just seems a little bit risky. I think Jihoo is doing some of the job of a boyfriend, and Junpyo needs to have that role in Chandi's life, such as her confidant, someone she can go to with her issues. I haven't really seen her do that much with Junpyo. And of course, Junpyo is really intense about things, so that might be why. But for their relationship to really deepen and progress, I think she needs to shift that from Jihoo to Junpyo. So let me know in the comments below, do you think Junpyo is ever gonna get revenge on those girls for what they did? Because I thought for sure he was going to in this episode, but he never did. I'm still hoping he will though. Go ahead and click like if you liked this video and subscribe to see more of my reactions to Boys Over Flowers. Thanks, bye.